Today on Lightsaber Life, we're unboxing the Galaxy's Edge Legacy Lightsaber for Kanan Jarrus. What surprised me about this saber? What does this say? And what four things make it one of the most unique sabers in the entire Galaxy's Edge collection? I'm going to answer all those questions and more for you today. Here's where the fun begins.
This weapon is your life.
The weapon of the Jedi Knight.
I see you have constructed a new lightsaber.
If you love lightsabers, boy, you are in the right place. I'm Josiah, aka Jobi-Wan Kenobi. Special shout out to my friend JT from the Geekiverse for supplying our lightsaber for the review today. Kanan Jarrus, formerly Padawan Caleb Dume, uses this lightsaber with his crew, the Phoenix, in Star Wars Rebels. It eventually inspires his Padawan Ezra Bridger's lightsaber that we see in the Ahsoka TV show. Fun fact, Freddie Prinze Jr., who voices Kanan in Rebels, reprises his role in The Rise of Skywalker. Towards the end, when Rey is hearing the voices of the Jedi that came before her, you'll hear Kanan's voice, and he says, "Rey, in the heart of a Jedi lies her strength." Oh, I just love that. Real quick before we dive into unboxing this, I always want to give my retail recap. Keep in mind, this is a retail lightsaber. Much like Hasbro's The Black Series lightsabers, check out my Epic Rey review, you'll see a lot of similarities with the Disney's Galaxy Edge lightsabers. Both have pros and cons, both have different strengths. We're going to go over some of those things as we unbox the Kanan lightsaber today. These lightsabers do not have some of the high-end features that you'll see on more expensive versions, such as sabers from Theory Sabers and CC Sabers and many other companies. You won't have smooth swing, you won't have the ability to customize them, and in most cases, the lights are just not as impressive. But that shouldn't stop you from collecting them. They are a blast. I've got a handful of Galaxy's Edge lightsabers myself. And one more thing before we dive in, please hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. It tells YouTube I make good content, and it goes so far. I'd really appreciate it. We've got it right here, the Galaxy's Edge Kanan Jarrus Disney Legacy Lightsaber. Let's take a closer look at the case here. Oh yeah, look at that. I will say, I don't love the cases that these lightsabers come in Disney. Some about them, they just kind of feel cheap and sometimes clunky, and they're hard to really repackage and repurpose sometimes. Everything in there is just fitting just right. One thing that I do love about these cases, if you look closely here, each one has its own unique logo. So here we see the Phoenix, which is unique to Kanan. On the Luke Skywalker lightsaber from Return of the Jedi, you'll see the Rebel Alliance logo. And for the Kylo Ren one, you'll see the First Order logo. So that's a really, really cool touch that makes each of these cases unique. So I can't complain about that. And then right here on top, we see some Aurebesh. I don't recall seeing this on the case of any other Galaxy's Edge lightsaber case. Tell me in the comments down below if I'm forgetting any. But this inscription here says, Padawan Caleb Dume Kanan Jarrus. Pretty cool. And now we're gonna pop this one open here. Just press the button, pull it up. Oh. I just love lightsabers. Before we dive into that, there's something very unique about this one. Belt clips. I'll bring these up close again. I don't recall many Legacy lightsabers coming with belt clips, and this one's got two. So it's not the strongest material here, but very interesting that it does come with it. And then this one we see, it's got the two rings here. So kind of interesting. The Kylo Ren one comes with one, and that is a sick version. It is a heavy metal clip, man. And it does the character justice. More thoughts on that later when we review that one. But kind of interesting that this one comes with a few. I think it's just the saber hilt is a little bit more unique than usual. So if it is something you want to cosplay or have on your belt at a convention, at Star Wars Celebration, anything like that, it works fine. Now, here we go. Oh, I just love it. Bring this in for a close-up look here. Oh yeah, soak it in. All right, so we'll start from the bottoms up as always. First of all, I gotta say, this is a big hilt. It's not the thickest hilt that's out there. It's just right in my opinion. Now, Galaxy's Edge lightsabers, they've got the reputation for having kind of big hilts here. A little bit not so much movie accurate, but this one does the trick, and it is just the right weight. So we'll look down here at the pommel. Kudos for having a really strong D-ring here. So you could, in fact, wear this on your belt with the clips I just showed you, or you can kind of let it hang like that. That would be my preferred method, even though not so much accurate to Rebels. If we twist off here, You'll see we've got the battery pack here. This one takes AAAs. Make sure you replace those at least once a year, especially if you're using this quite often. You'll actually notice an incredible difference in how vibrant your blade is. Now here we've got some grips. If you go over to this side, you've got the ignition switch right here. So just like the Luke Skywalker one from Return of the Jedi, it's got our box here. Now, it'd just be perfect if we either flip this up or if we were able to just push this button, but alas, we can't. So it's right here, it's fine. You just flip that up and that goes on. That's easy enough, and it's not in an inconvenient place. We've got almost these prongs here, this little switch here, which I believe on the lightsaber in the lore is how you would adjust the blade length. Of course, we got our stickers on here. I don't want to take those off on JT. We've got some lettering at the bottom. And then up top, the glorious emitter. This one reminds me of Cal Kestis. I really like this one a lot. Doesn't add a lot of weight to it. When we're ready to put our blade in, this just kind of twists off right here. And voila. So one thing that makes this lightsaber unique is you have to remove the emitter to put the blade in, and then the emitter slides over the blade. In a lot of cases, like again, the Luke Skywalker lightsaber, for example, that's got a different emitter. It's got a display emitter and then one for when your blade is in. As per usual, we're gonna slide the blade in just like this and twist. Now, recommended blade length for this. 36 inches is movie accurate. However, for this demonstration, I'm gonna use a 31 inch. That being said, I do recommend the 36. This hilt is so long, it kind of reminds me of the Kylo Ren, almost like a Balin skull, where the attack formation is a little bit more almost like a cross guard. There's not a lot of finesse with this lightsaber. It's a big one, but it's not too heavy. And that really surprised me about this. I thought this thing was gonna be a beast. If you've ever held the Cal Kestis lightsaber, you need to work out just to be able to lift it. It's insane. More on that in a later video. It's time for us to light up the Kanan Jarrus lightsaber. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Do you hear that? That is good sound. This is the perfect volume. It's slightly on the loud end, and that's exactly what you want for this. But look at that blue. Swing that around a little. Not the most sensitive, but we've got some noises there for swinging. We've got our typical Disney yellow clash. Sounds like it's got 3 or 4 sounds there, just slightly different. One thing I mentioned in my Rey video is I like that the Black Series lightsabers, when you ignite them, they come out in sequence, just like this. Here, these come out in thirds. Not a huge fan of that. I think that's something that Disney needs to work on. But let's ignite it again. And let's do one more time right into the mic so we can hear that. That's got just a nice hum to it. I think this is a good lightsaber for dueling. You gotta be careful, but at the same time, the nice thing about the Legacy lightsabers, the blades are interchangeable, almost exclusively. There's a few exceptions. The new white Ahsoka lightsabers from the show, the Yoda lightsaber, and just a small handful of other ones, you can't interchange them, which is fine. That's pretty good value. So if you go out and you duel with this and you break it, not a big deal. You can just replace it and put another one in. All right, I wanna turn this one on with the lights off. All right, here we go. That's a really swingable lightsaber. Like, I can't emphasize it enough. It's just the right weight. I'm really, really surprised by this. Kudos to Disney on this one, that we didn't get another Cal Kestis. Yeah! All right, so at the beginning of the video, I promised I'd tell you 4 things that make this lightsaber unique in terms of legacy lightsabers at Galaxy's Edge. First of all, this one won a fan vote. So in 2022, I believe, and this lightsaber came out in 2023, there was a vote to determine which lightsaber was going to be created next by Disney. The other vote that happened a few years prior was a Cal Kestis victor. Cal had some incredible competition, if I'm not mistaken. Ezra, Anakin Skywalker, Ahsoka Tano, like let's go. Those are some heavy hitters there. Kanan, not so much. With all due respect to his master, Deepa Billaba, and the fan favorite Quinlan Vos, I think Kanan was always the clear choice for this. The second thing that makes this very unique, again, the Aurebesh. That is something that I do not recall seeing on any other standard edition Galaxy's Edge lightsaber. Again, comment below if I missed one. Third, so sorry. Third, we got the emitter that slides over the blade here. And fourth, we've got the belt clips that come with this, which is very convenient if you're looking to do a Kanan cosplay. Thanks so much for making it to the end of this video. I really appreciate it. Go click subscribe on the channel. Make sure to give this video a like and turn on notifications. It goes a long way. And don't forget, trust only in the Force.